Hello, football enthusiasts. Welcome to Blaqsport Podcast. I am your host, like always, Insuya Tuche, and I'm still on the wheel to take you through what is happening in the African Cup of Nations 2025. We're in match day 5 in the African Cup of Nations, happening live in Morocco. It's been an exciting time all this while, and now that each group is playing their second game, it's been tussles and struggles and a whole lot of teams on trying to hold the thin line from cutting, but you never can tell. This is football. A whole lot of surprises, a whole lot of twists actually happening, and we are here to dive into and break it down what happened in today's features. So before we dive into that, I just want to let you know, in case you miss any of our match day 1, match day 2, match day 3, match day 4 up to today match day 5, feel free to follow us on all our social media platforms on X, on Facebook, and also on Instagram. You can also follow us on LinkedIn, on Blaqsport Podcast, and also on X, especially on Blaqsport Pod. You can also follow us on our podcast platforms on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on Amazon Podcasts. And you can also follow us more on all podcast platforms and get informed and get updated on what's happening in Morocco, especially in the African Cup of Nations. Don't worry that wherever you are, Blaqsport is here to find you. Now, going back to the features that we have for today, this is you have Zambia and Comoros. This is a game I'm actually looking forward to, especially. You know how the first game between the Morocco and Comoros, whereby the Comoros were in the game, by my own standard, I would say they gave the Moroccan side too much respect. They didn't come out to play, and the game ended in favor of the Morocco, winning by 2-0. So they're playing the Zambia, and which seems to be an interesting game, owing to the fact that a whole lot is going to be expected in both of them. So these are kind of the highlights we have for the day. And we also have Morocco and Mali, which is the late kick of the end. For today, we have Angola and Zimbabwe. We are supposed to be the first game of today, and then Egypt, South Africa, which was one of an interesting one, which was the second match of today's game. It was interesting. So let's go into it one after the other. So the first one we're going to talk about is let's talk about the Angola-Zimbabwe that ended on a 1-1 draw. I know this is a situation whereby we're expecting much from both of them, but as it is now, going on a stalemate is going to show a whole lot on the standings, which we're going to have a quick look. And this actually going in favor of having the Angolan side, which is Dala scoring on the 24th minute and having Musana equalizing at the extra time of the first half. So we gave them all the levels throughout the game, and that they fought, but they couldn't actually have any lead, and the game ended in stalemate for that side. So let's just have a look at what's going to impact on the table for them. We still have Egypt on top of the table, and we have South Africa. So Zimbabwe and Angola, both of them are still on 1 point, in which the point that they both share today, because they are yet to win a game in this tournament. So I'm going down the line. So I would like to share. I'm going to share my screen, so I'm going to have a quick look what is happening right here. So let's talk about this Egypt and South Africa. So Egypt and South Africa, this game is the game that was super intense. A whole lot of people actually expect a whole lot from this game, because it's a clash. It was the highlight of the game, especially with the fact that Mo Salah scored a penalty, which was, I must say, that was a good one to send Williams on the right hand side, having the ball smoothly and wonderfully hit the back of the net. That was a wonderful goal by Mo Salah. He's expected for a player of his caliber, and it is quite surprising at a high peak when the pressure is high. He still went for penalty when he could actually go for a stand-up shot. But that's how we actually identify the big boys from the boys. You understand me? He shows he has a quality. He has been there, done that. So these are kind of things we expect from a player like Mohamed Salah, who has actually done it almost everything for Liverpool, who is here to be crowned the champions of Africa. Time will tell. So this is the second game going. So Salah scored a penalty. Yes. So this penalty is something I wanted to talk about. It was soft. Owing to the fact that yes, people argue that regardless, once the foul is committed, you have to blow it. even though it was intentional or not. You can see the player was not really looking and actually waved his hand onto the Mo Salah's eye. But I can see the situation whereby there was still a series of complaint, in the sense that they still have a scar by the defender, in which a little scar showing that they were still it wasn't just only him, it was a 50-50 situation, but it was still awarded. That actually went in favor of Egypt, with the Pharaohs leading the goal line with Mo Salah scoring at the 45 minutes of the first half. And something actually happened magically towards the end. And that is just a few minutes after that just happened. Just 2 minutes at time, we're going to see that Hanley received the second yellow down and was set off at the end of the second half. So which means the Egyptians went to the second half on a 10-man down. You can imagine what a 10-man down is in the African Cup of Nations. You will suffer. When I mean Egypt suffered, I'm not trying to jinx it. I'm not trying to maybe overhype this, but I want to say Egypt did a good job. They held the game throughout the second half of the game, throughout on that one with 10-man down and on 1 goal up. They held the game throughout, and that was a really, really strong fight, because it was all as if all the team, all the whole players was back of the was at back of their own half, and the South Africans Bafana keep pressing. And not to actually talk about Mukana, who was one of the experienced players in the Bafana side. He actually escaped, for me, he escaped a red card in the first half with a challenge that he got away with. But he actually came close, but he made away some kind of some passes, and he actually tried to go for glory, but he wasn't lucky in that situation. Bafana did put in a very good fight, and they had the opportunity to actually level the game with a controversial VAR that went for a penalty check. In with the game was meant to be inside the box, a handball, but it happens to be that was you trying to fall on the ground. You definitely have to put your hand on the ground for it to go down. So it's actually open for debate, and I think there's more laws that's going to go around it. For me, I think that should be a penalty, considering what the penalty they gave in favor to Salah for them to actually have a lead. So that should actually be given to them, so for them to level the game. But it is what it is, and that game actually gone. But that was one very interesting game, and it's also nice to give kudos to the Bafana side for holding that one goal lead since the second half, with 10-man down to the end of the game. That was a solid performance from them, and this is the first time I'm seeing the Egyptian side rallying back and trying to build a very, very high block, packing the three Marco Polo buses, and if you notice in their favor, everything still sorted out fine, because they ended up winning the game. So this will actually show us what the standing will look like. So like we're actually talking about, so the standing, so we have Egypt on top of the table, winning their two games, which actually put them automatically they have qualified for this group. And we have Bafana South Africa that actually won their first game but lost against Egypt, which we were just talking about. Zimbabwe and Angola went on they have not won any game, and they went on draws. So this now position them how it's looking. So for what I can see here, I can see obviously what South Africans in their next game is just a draw to qualify, and they are through to the next round. And Egypt's already on top of the table. They are actually qualified from this group. Except let's see what happens in the final game if South Africa wins and then Egypt loses. But from today, I can see Egypt is certain they are going towards the round 16. So this is for the game between South Africa and Egypt. So let's talk about Zambia and Comoros. So Zambia and Comoros game is something I said this. It was a game that the Comoros actually surprised me. They brought the game to the Zambia side. They actually penetrated. They have a whole lot of chances that they even scored, that the goal was actually disallowed. But if you look at this game, you see that the Comoros came on a different level. This was what I expected them to do against the Moroccan side, the host nation. I know you can say yes, it's a host nation, a whole lot of things can actually come to play. Yes, you can't take that away, but that does not mean the fact that they could have done better, because I'm certain if they have put in more effort and they played the same way they played today against the Zambia side, they could have actually done better, actually getting at least a goal, or not actually go on a total not scoring, not finding the back of the net against the Moroccan side, because it was really one of the worst performance in this tournament so far. But this game against Zambia, it was perfect. The only thing that actually differentiated them from showing actually what happened was because of the scoreline. They have a wonderful goal that was disallowed at the 90th minute, which would have actually given them, rewarded them for what they've actually done so far in playing a very, very wonderful link-up play and building the game from behind, and good transition till they reach the final third. So this actually ended up on a goalless draw, and that means that Comoros is still here to find the back of the net in this tournament. They have not scored any single goal throughout this tournament apart from the one that was disallowed, which obviously we're not going to be counting that. So this also brings me to the final game of tonight, and that will be between the Morocco and Mali, the host nation against Mali. This is the match to watch. It was really, really tactical. It was a game that I saw and I said yes. I love these kind of actions in the African Cup of Nations. Both teams brought about a whole lot of physicality, and you have to be, the fitness level was really, really unmatched. And it happened at the Diaz, which scored penalty, was all over the whole place in the first half. He was dribble, he was so instrumental, and that was why when the penalty actually came running, he has to be the one to take it, and he actually brought it, scored the ball across the line, and were actually perfect. And that also brought them also the second the goal in which they actually scored. I guess there was also a penalty that the Malian side used to equalize the game at the 64th minute. As you can see, Siyonko actually scored it. This game is a true testament showing that when you come out to play, the game is going to be fun. You're going to enjoy every single thing. You can imagine a game in which they have over 15 shots and only 4 on target for the Moroccan side. It was super intense. I must give the Malians the benefit of the doubt, because they really showed character in this game. That we are all outstanding players. We are all ready to fight for their place in this tournament. And this is what I keep saying: if you come and you leave every single thing in the page, it will surely show that. It will actually show on the scoreline, and this is the testament of that. Holding the host nation on their home ground on a 1-1 scoreline is something to be to applaud themselves on, because it's really a good one. And this also brings them to having 2 draws in this tournament. Only Morocco is on the side that have actually won in this group in total. You can see that. So that shows you how tough this group has been. And I would say, from the way I'm looking at this, it's still an open group, especially still an open group for Mali and Zambia. But in terms of Comoros, even if they win the game, there's still a whole lot to fight for in this group. But so far, Morocco is the only side that actually won a single game in this tournament so far. And it's good to actually bring this up to speed for you guys to still know that in this game, that the prize money is still 10 million. That was moved from 7 million from the previous tournament to 10 million. That shows that a whole lot is at stake, and we can't really wait to see where all this is gonna go and who is gonna end up being the crown champions of Africa. So this concludes the match day 5 in the African Cup of Nations, with the scoreline having Zambia and Comoros ended on a goalless draw, having Morocco and Mali that end on a 1-1 draw, and also having Angola and Zimbabwe that ended on a 1-1 draw. And then you have the Egypt and South Africa that ended in favor of Egypt on a 1-0, with Egypt having a 1-man down in the end of the first half, and they played with 10 man down during the second half, still holding on to their lead to the end of the game. This is the night that you will say I missed, but it's still right there. You can still follow us. You can still check us and to get an update of what's happening in Morocco and get yourself up to speed. Please, in case you're in the UK, you're still looking for a station to watch for the African Cup of Nations, it's still there on Channel 4, and don't miss any single game in the African Cup of Nations, because it's about to get tougher, and the stage is set for the highest competition in the continent, and it's all about time before we know who is going to move to the round 16 of the tournament. So this is a wrap for us on match day 5 in the African Cup of Nations, and I'm still your host, Insulet Uche. don't forget to subscribe on all our social media platforms and follow us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and also on Amazon Podcasts, and also on YouTube. So we'll be here again tomorrow on Matchday 6 of the African Cup of Nations as we talk about what is going to happen in the aftermath of the games. So stay glued and don't forget that wherever you are, Blaqsport will find you. See you on next episode. Have a wonderful time. Ciao.